This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Well, here we are. It's that time of the year, change of season. We're fastly approaching cold and flu season. Lots of stuff going around out there. Yes, you can do things to prevent getting sick, of course. But on the flip side of that, have you ever thought about what you eat could really dictate how often you get sick? I think it was Socrates that said that food is thy medicine. We're going to dig
Yeah.
into that today with an integrative nutrition health coach. She harnesses what I like to call my kind of healthy. That's the name of her business. And that's my kind of healthy because she's also a pastry chef. So she
Yep.
doesn't deprive us of anything, but also
No,
works to keep us healthy. Katie Patterson is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Steve. Thanks. How are you?
Real good. I'm wondering what foods we could be or should be eating to stay healthier. I mean, I have some thoughts, but I'm not
hmm
100% sure. Where should we start today?
Well, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well,
Let's start that way. You know what I
certainly,
mean? It's
yeah.
fun to see what other people think before I give you my take.
So just broadly thinking here and initially out of the gate, vitamin C, obviously impactful
Yeah,
to keep you healthy and ward off some germs. So
definitely.
maybe more foods that contain that, maybe more things like orange juice. I know it's such a cliche, but that's where you get it from. Although, do you get enough from
hmm
it? That's always my question.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good one.
and with that, I'm not really sure. I mean, it's certainly
Okay.
balanced diet to make sure you're getting
Yeah,
everything.
definitely.
Um, but I even wonder, like, if you eat too much garbage, like too many carbs, um, if you eat too many cakes, that was me over the weekend. I
Yes.
had I had three donuts
Yes.
Saturday night. Don't judge.
It's all good.
That's a one-off. Never happened. It was
Hey,
in the
just don't
moment.
do it today.
Not gonna
Don't do it
happen
again. That's
today.
all.
I've got my keto meatballs right over there. Um,
Okay.
is like eating too many carbs and starchy, garbagey kind of stuff working against you in keeping you healthy?
Um, Carbs in general, no. Carbs get a really bad rap. Carbs are important. You need carbs,
Sure.
complex carbohydrates, meaning whole grains, foods that, a whole grain versus whole grain bread versus white bread, for example. White bread is super processed. It doesn't take your body a long time to break it down. That's why it's a simple carbohydrate. It goes right through you. Your body processes it more as sugar. You don't really get a lot of nutritional benefit from it. There's not as much fiber in it. It's kind of a filler. So like when you eat hamburger rolls, like plain hamburger rolls, white bread, cookies, and the typical carbohydrates, yes, it's not as good for you. And those are the carbs that everyone thinks are bad. But when you look at a whole grain, when you look at quinoa, when you look at foods that are really, it's the whole wheat germ, your body has to break that down. It's not just the processed flour, which is the final byproduct of processing the wheat. If you get the whole grain, it takes your body longer to process it. You get the fiber, it helps keep you full, it helps with digestion. That's good for you. So that's where choosing the right kind of foods, kind of what we started talking about, is important. If you're going to have bread, it's better to have a whole grain, a sprouted bread, something like that, rather than reaching for like Wonder Bread that we all grew up with. But that's what we're used to. It's what a lot of people like.
Oh
I
my
fight the
God.
battle with my mother and my kids, and I try to sneak in the white wheat. So it's kind of bleached. You don't see it as much, so it's slightly processed, but it does have the whole grain in it.
It's
So
all
it's
about
just a matter of,
marketing too. Like
of
I
course it
just I
is.
just got dropped in my head, Wonder Bread. I'm gonna go on memory here, but Bill's Body's 12 Strong Ways.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
What is that? That means that they threw in some vitamins and minerals because they had to. It wasn't in
Yep.
there anyway. And
Fortified. It was
oh,
fortified. That was
oh,
the word they used.
that's the word, right?
It means
Yeah.
it's processed. It's not naturally in there. And so it's synthetic. It's you're not getting the vitamins and minerals or any antioxidants or anything directly from that food source. They have to add in synthetic vitamins and minerals and all that stuff. What did we used to do with Wonder Bread? We used to take it and like make little balls with it, remember?
Oh yeah.
and throw it at each other in the lunchrooms because it was just like mush.
Wow.
I
Um,
see your face.
I haven't had that in fact, not that I'm like a health freak or anything, but aside from Italian bread with the occasional, you know,
Totally different.
is it really?
It is. It is because if you get good Italian bread from a bakery, it probably has 3 or 4 ingredients in it. It doesn't come from these mills that produce all of this bread that can sit in a package on the shelf for 2 to 3 weeks.
There's the other
Bread
one.
should not last for 2 to 3 weeks. It has
Mm,
preservatives in it that to keep it to make it last longer. But that's not the way it should be. If you make homemade bread, that bread starts to go bad in 2 days.
I play a game of Are You Moldy? So I like I'll have like turkey meatballs in the morning for breakfast. That's what I eat. I like it.
No,
Get a good
I
hit of
get it.
protein, little marinara sauce, bam, good.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, well, there's no carbs. It's like 1 gram of carbs in that. So let me do some carbs. So I'll have half an English muffin,
Okay.
but the English muffins are like 2 months old. I'm not even kidding. And it's like, it's still, I mean, I don't see any mold on it. So
No.
it's almost like every time I open up the bread box, I keep it in a bread box because I have cats and they're always like,
Okay.
around. I'll take it out of the package. I'm like, are you moldy yet?
Yeah.
Are you moldy? Another day goes by. Are you moldy yet? Like I'm a month and a half in.
Yeah.
Still looks okay to me. I'm going to eat
I
it.
don't know why. I don't know what they put in those English muffins that make them last so long, but they do.
Crazy.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And that's it's kind of why sourdough bread lasts a little bit longer. Because if you've ever seen a sourdough starter, and there's a huge trend with sourdough right now that kind of got
Yes.
really big during COVID. Everybody had time on their hands. Everybody was making sourdough bread. Sourdough is made from a starter that is actually alive. If you look at what a sourdough starter is, it's the yeast and the sugar and the flour and water, and it literally it bubbles, it grows, it's alive. And you have to keep that starter alive. And that's what makes the bread rise, but it's also what gives sourdough that very unique sour flavor. Like it's
Mhm.
got that yeasty sour flavor to it. Sourdough bread will last a little bit longer than other bread because it does have that active yeast in there that has already started to ferment. And that, in a way, it's already old, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
it lasts a little bit longer. But again, it doesn't have the preservatives in it. So it's not meant to last. It's not. It's why if you look at 100 years ago, none of this packaged bread and packaged food was around, and a lot of our ancestors weren't dying of the same diseases that we are.
You went
We've
to the
created it.
bakery. You literally went to the bakery to
Yeah.
get your bread
Or you baked it yourself.
or that, right?
Most people bake, most women were home doing that, baking the bread. And I'm not trying to be sexist, it's just the way the roles were. They were home, they were making the breads, they were up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's what they did. But they ate a lot better than we do.
Isn't it sad when you think about a lot of bakeries are going out of business? There aren't a
Yeah.
bunch of them around.
Mm-mm,
Um,
there's not.
if it was more top of mind and they were more out there, I would go to them. And
Mhm.
if the service, because there's been sometimes like a line because there's not a lot of them around.
Yeah,
So it's
because
like,
there's no, yeah,
because we're in that, like, give me I need it now. Sourdough
exactly.
bread. My older daughter is very health conscious and she bakes her own and she's
Okay.
on that kick right now. Is
Yeah.
sourdough substantially better for you when we're talking bread?
I think it's better than plain white bread for sure. It
Okay.
still has the basic components to what bread. I mean, bread is basically it's flour, water, some kind of a leavening, a yeast, whether it's active dry yeast in the powdered form or you get live yeast that comes in like a block and it's in the refrigerator section, and sometimes sugar, sometimes not, but usually you need a sugar to feed the yeast, and that's really all bread is.
Hmm.
And it's very simple. But when you break it down to the basic components, there's nothing bad for you. It's not. Sourdough is there's something comforting about sourdough though, especially when you make it yourself. It does feel better for you.
Right?
So, because you're making it yourself, you're not getting, again, all those preservatives. So, in that respect, absolutely, it's better than going to buy bread at the grocery store. No
So
question.
cold and flu season coming.
Yeah.
What are some of the other things that we can be eating or doing to stay healthier?
Whole, you want to eat whole grains. You want to eat real fresh fruits and vegetables. If you can't get it fresh, you want to eat it frozen. You don't really want the canned stuff. It's not as good for you. Um, when you eat frozen vegetables, they're frozen at the peak of ripeness. And so if you can't get it fresh, you eat it frozen. You want to eat that. You said something about getting vitamin C from orange juice. If you squeeze your own oranges, absolutely. If you look at the back of any of the bottled orange juices, there's a lot of sugar in there, and
Mm.
it's a lot of added sugar in there. That's where that's where drinks can sneak in extra calories and extra sugar that nobody really thinks about.
It's so true. Those two
Yeah.
words too on the back of the orange juice. From concentrate. Why?
Yep.
Why are you getting
Yep.
why is it coming from
Exactly.
concentrate?
You know
If
why? Because it's got preservatives in it. It keeps it fresh longer. It all goes back to that. They have to keep it on the shelves.
oh,
Because if you look at orange juice, it has an expiration date. Usually when you buy it, it's like a month out.
oh yeah.
Fresh orange juice is not going to last in your fridge that long. And
You
if you've
know,
ever seen an orange juice container when it gets old, it puffs up because it starts to get like that. It starts to turn.
oh,
It releases gases. It ferments. Not good for you.
it has been decades since I squeezed fresh orange juice,
Uh-huh.
but I gotta tell you, Katie, when you just said it, I got mildly excited. Like
It's so good too.
I'm like thinking
It
of it
really
like,
is.
like, oh yeah, and you know it's the real deal. You
Yeah,
just know,
it's true.
and it feels better,
It
just
does. And I mean, you
psychologically.
don't need you don't need to have, a fancy juicer or any, especially for orange juice and citrus juices. All you got to do, you got strong hand. You squeeze, cut it in half, squeeze it, and
Right.
you get the fresh juices from it. That's the epitome of what I mean when I say you want to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. The biggest thing right now too is eating foods and vegetables that are in season. I think we've talked about that before.
Hmm.
Citrus fruit is coming into season. Strawberries, corn, tomatoes, all of that is kind of going out. It's just the way the seasons are. It's the way that we function here on this planet. We grow things in season. You want to eat what's in season because usually you can get that locally. If you get it locally, it hasn't had to travel. It doesn't have as much of the GMOs on it to make it grow faster, bigger, stronger, whatever, prettier. So that's you really want to try to eat foods that are fresh. You want to eat foods as local as possible. Um, when you're sick, yes, you want to eat more of the vitamin C and fruits and things like that. You want to avoid, like if you have a head cold, you don't want to be drinking a lot of dairy. You don't want milk. You don't want ice cream and cheese. That'll just like clog you up. It'll make you cough more. It thickens your mucus. I see your face right now. It's nasty to think about. It's the last thing you really want when you're sick. You want to eat broths, comforting foods. You want, like, if you eat bone broth, drinking bone broth, that's a huge, huge health booster when in
Yeah.
this season.
Oh
Bone
yeah.
broth extracts all of the minerals and vitamins from the bones of the meat. And you let it simmer and you drink that and you're getting such amazing nutrients from something like that. And you don't have to make it yourself. You can buy bone broth. Not as good, but it's better than not having it. Things like that are important.
Have you ever gone to I don't want to call it a health food store, but a place that has um, better quality stuff? I went in one yesterday, and
Hmm.
it's called Cornucopia, where I
Okay.
am, and I wasn't even planning. I was near it. I was like, ah, let me pop in. I could spend like 3 hours in that place, just like, look
Yeah.
at this, look at that, look at this.
Yep.
Wow, that's exciting too when you see
It is.
what's available and what maybe we're missing out on
Hmm.
in terms of our diets. Um,
Absolutely.
how about some other insight? Anything else that stands in
A,
mind?
a really big thing is, and I like, look, I have two kids and they're homesick right now. They both, school started last week. My kids have pneumonia and they have enterovirus, which is going around. Supposedly that and COVID are running rampant right now. Um, a big thing if you are sick, if you're on antibiotics, which antibiotics, what they do is they kill all of the bacteria in your system. We have good and bad bacteria in our system, but antibiotics kill both kinds. So you need to replenish the good bacteria. You want to take a probiotic if you're taking an antibiotic. The probiotics helps give you back the good bacteria that you need to fight off germs, to fight off illness. The more exposure you have to antibiotics, the more you'll get sick.
Wow.
It's really scary and it's sad to think, but the more you take an antibiotic, the weaker your immune system will be. So you want to take a probiotic. You can get that from a supplement form. You can get it from yogurt. You can get it from fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi and things like that, which are available widely in grocery stores now. Um, you want it like drinks like kombucha, things like that. It's a little bit fermented. It gives you back the probiotics. So things like that
I
are really, really important to drink. If your doctor's going to tell you to drink electrolytes, don't just load up on Gatorade because it's full of sugar. Try other alternatives.
Kombucha. I hope I'm
Yeah.
saying that right.
Yes.
Um, saw it yesterday in that store, and I've heard the name before. I'm not even sure what the heck it is. Like, is it tea? What is it?
A lot of the time, tea is a base. You can get it with green tea, you can get it with black tea. I like green tea. I think green tea is a little bit healthier for you, partly because there's a little bit less caffeine in it. Tea in general is healthy. The caffeine isn't a negligible thing. It's not the most important part, but definitely I like green tea. And it's a fermented drink. In the
Hmm.
same way a sourdough starter is fermented. There's a little bit of a yeast or something in there, not or something. There is a little bit of a yeast in there. And what it does is it's basically the same process of making alcohol. It ferments it. It gives you that fizzy, bubbly flavor, but it's not alcohol. There is absolutely no alcohol to it. There's usually some kind of fruit juice in it. A lot of the time you can get it with ginger, you can get it with all these other things that are good for you, and it's a good way to replenish some of those vitamins and minerals in your system. And they usually don't have a lot of sugars in them.
What'd you have for breakfast?
I haven't yet, actually. I'm bad. No, I've kind of been fasting a little bit
Okay,
for
fair
some
enough.
reason. Yep, I haven't actually lately. I've been more kind of eating breakfast at around 11 o'clock noon, and I kind of skip over the breakfast part. And kind of like you have your meatballs. I go straight to either a salad or a chickpea pasta or something like that. It keeps me fuller longer. I did have coffee with some a protein powder in it, so I
Oh,
had a little bit of protein. But no, I did not have breakfast yet this morning.
you know,
But
I
that's
never
just
even
me.
thought of
I'm
that.
on a fasting kick.
I never thought of that. Adding protein powder to even just a coffee.
Yeah. Some it
Hmm,
depends. Some of them work, some don't. Some make it really gritty and it's the consistency is off-putting. Some
right.
of them work well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that I've been eating more than normal, and I'm eating more garbage than normal. And
Okay.
there is a piece of me that just wanted to see what that would be like.
Okay.
So this weekend, yeah, a little reckless abandon. Yeah, I had 3 donuts on Saturday night. We watching TV, whatever.
Hmm.
Try this one, see what it tastes like. Yeah, let me go this one. And yeah, had pizza and things like that. Well, I'm gonna say that my digestion has been off. Like I
Yeah.
can feel it. Like it's almost as if my body is saying, "What did you just do to me?
Yeah.
What is it?
It pretty much is.
I'm going to give you bloat. I'm going to make you feel like garbage. I'm going to
Yeah.
do this. Do you feel sluggish? That's the junk you
Hmm.
just put in. It does make a difference. It really
It
does.
does. And see, okay, so if you were one of my clients and you came to me and said that, there's two different roads you can go from that point right there. You can either say, well, I've been doing it for a couple of days, might as well keep it up. The diet, the word that we hate, but my eating plan has for the birds now. I'm going to ignore it and I'm just going to continue to eat like crap. Or you could recognize what your body's telling you. You can take stock, like sit down and say, okay, what have I done? Why do I feel different? What can I do to change it? And that's when you can either make the choice to continue doing what you've been doing, or you slowly go back to the way you normally eat. And you don't beat yourself up for making those choices. That's the biggest thing. Do not beat yourself up. Do
No,
not get upset about it. Do not let it throw you off. And like you recognize it as a little experiment. And now you know what happens if you go off track for a long period of time.
I even in a weekend, and not that I was eating like fantastic prior to that, but even in that short period of time, it was a wake up. It was substantial. Like
Our
I
bodies talk to us.
oh, completely.
They definitely talk to us. You just have to listen.
Mm,
You have to listen to the signs. You know, when you bloat or when you don't go to the bathroom, when your digestion's off, unless you have some kind of an illness where, that's a side effect or that's is what causes it, there's usually a reason for it. You can usually look back and say, okay, this is what I've eaten, this is what's going on.
Yep.
And everybody's constitution is different. Everybody needs different amounts of proteins and fats and carbs to be able to function properly. Sometimes people like go, I'm just going to only eat vegetables. And then they go overboard and then everything goes right through them because they don't have the whole grains and the bulk fiber and the
Mm.
protein to help keep them full, and to also they don't get those complex carbohydrates and they don't get the complete amino acids that your body needs to be able to process everything right. That's why you really do need a balanced diet of all the food groups.
And it's not beer and donuts. I can
No,
tell you firsthand.
it can't be beer and donuts all the time.
Um,
Sometimes,
it was it was
sometimes
it was
80
a
20. That's my thing.
80 donuts. What?
No,
Uh,
80 20. You want to be good 80% of the time. Good meaning eat what your body craves, eat what you need to stay healthy, eat what you know is going to make you feel the best. The other 20% of the time, have a couple of donuts, have the beer, have a glass of wine, have a piece of cake. It's finding your kind of healthy. It's what works best for you.
well, that's interesting. You say that my kind of healthy. Everybody's kind of healthy is different for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
That experiment. Now I see, and you know what? I always say, well, let me just have a chocolate shake. But this is me personally. After I consume it, it wasn't worth it. It
Yeah.
didn't like give me the wow, that was so good. I can't wait to do it again. No, I'm good. I'm good. Like it's
Yeah.
those donuts won't mention the name of the store that makes donuts, but they're not like they were when we were kids. They taste
No,
different, and
they do.
we know why.
They do. Yep.
Yeah, it's just not
It's
the
very
same.
true.
And I
But see, this
remember
is
it.
one of those things, one of those experiments, though, that'll teach you, okay, if you have a craving for it, get one, maybe have half of one and put it aside for later,
Yeah.
which I know some people can't do. It's different for everybody as far as what people can and can't walk away from. But if you know it makes you feel terrible, then just have a little bit. Just have a couple of bites and just say, okay, I don't need the rest of it.
And I'm on your page there because I know me, once I start, I don't stop. So it's
It's
like,
hard. It's hard.
yeah. So don't I personally, that was a reminder. Don't even go there because it's
Yeah.
like, let me just
It's
cut
true.
half a donut. Yes, you'll have half a donut in a half hour. What are you having?
Exactly. I know
Right?
for some people, and you want to call it willpower, you want to call it strength, I don't know, whatever people call it different things.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody's different with that.
Yeah.
Some people can walk away from things like that and from being tempted, and other people can't. And that's okay. It's
Mm.
just knowing your body, knowing what feels better, and making the decision to do what makes you feel better most of the time.
How do we
And that's the
find
biggest
you?
thing.
How do we connect with you to find our kind of healthy?
I am online at mykindofhealthy.com. I do have a business. I can work with people everywhere this way over Zoom, phone, in person, whatever. I'm also on Instagram as the Pastry Chef Health Coach. And then Facebook, it's Katie Cakes / My Kind of Healthy.
I think it's beautiful that you're a pastry chef. Because it's
Thank
like,
you.
you take away the guilt that could be there because you see
It's
it from
true.
both sides, but ultimately we're here to eat healthier. But 20% occasionally of fun
Yeah.
is okay. Is
You
all
still
right.
have to live. You
You have
still
to
have
live.
to live life, and you
Yep.
can't deny yourself of everything. And food is a wonderful thing.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
What comes to my mind is with sick kids and wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Stay healthy.
Be healthy. All right, we'll catch up soon,
Definitely.
okay?
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it. We'll be
Bye
right
bye.
back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.